Hello and welcome to the show. We are here on BeamNG Drive today with 3 more vehicles taking on the American Descent. In fact, it's been a very good week for new, really rather cool mods coming out for this game. We start with a people carrier. Yes, this is the Kashira. I think that's how it's pronounced. I don't really know because my pronunciation is terrible. It is a full-on proper people carrier. Although the spec that I am running naturally is the rally spec. It's an okay engine in this. It's a V6 engine, not ludicrously powerful. Let's face it, this series we've had Formula 1 cars go down this stage. I'm not expecting the slightly tinkered with people carrier to be challenging the F1 car or the Group B rally car and so on. However, I mean, hell, whatever this beats, it would have been beaten by a people carrier. So, you know, there's... It's really a win-win for this car. It actually doesn't get turned in too badly. It doesn't get turned in too badly. The brakes are pretty solid on... oh, yeah, maybe not. Maybe we don't want second gear. I don't think second gear quite works around that, around Hammond's hairpin. Can we be flat up over Panorama? I think we might almost be flat over Panorama. It was close to being flat over Panorama. Not quite, though. Do we have any drive left in it? No! We can't even do a cheaty time. We can't even do a cheat. Oh, that's a lot of... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. That's a lot of broken people carrier. And the brakes on this are pretty solid, although Panorama, again, I thought I got that one right. Answer was no. No, we did not get Panorama right. Bolide Stream is... I mean... Oh, if we could... We might actually still be able to drive. It's on fire. It's on a lot of fire. No, not again. Not again. Not in the mud. Oh, we can't even finish. We can't even, you know, have the decency to finish a good cheat run because we keep getting beached. We can spin around in a circle. And that's it. We will be flat out through Daytona with little in the way of problems. I mean, it's actually a pretty respectable speed we're getting up to, down towards Hammond's hairpin. Although that time it was so fast that we then needed to brake a little bit later. It's a pretty respectable speed. I then need to remember that we are not doing very well with these whole braking points. Well, at some point I will figure out all of the braking points with this car. When you get things right, there is a surprising amount of speed you can carry. Like through Daytona, for example, it's flat out there, no problem. And we're getting up towards the 63, 65 mile an hour mark. Which, okay, yeah, it's not as fast as the Group B Corvette, but for a people carrier, that's pretty good going. And it feels that, again, while we're not setting record speeds, we are still carrying good speed around this section. Over Panorama we go. The Kilolot jumps actually don't even phase the car whatsoever. That might be some of the best we've seen a car deal with the Kilolot jumps. Surprisingly, even more so than the sensible rally cars. No, the people carrier, that's what you need. That's what you need for some rallying around. In we go. Actually, very, very nice to drive through a lot of these corners. Sebring, throwing it sideways through there helps mitigate some of the nastiness from the bumps. Can we slow you down into this next hairpin? Yes, we can. Lovely does it through there. Just don't cut to go, which if we can, well, not cut. Again, the suspension. Very impressed by how well the suspension is dealing with this course here. It is going to be across the line. Celebratory caravan crash. In fact, a good hit on the caravan. We don't quite punch straight through it, but you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. We've disintegrated it pretty well. This is a surprisingly capable car, actually, down here. You can carry a lot of speed through corners, and while it won't have the ultimate top speed, it won't have the ultimate top end that we have seen from some other vehicles, I think consistency down the run, average speed, I think overall, might be pretty damn good with this. Yeah, surprisingly nice to drive, and perhaps some of the best suspension for dealing with these bumps that we have seen so far. That's on a people carrier. Up next, we have got, well, essentially, a Ford Mustang. This is the Horsepower GT It is, well, a supercharged V8 modern-day muscle car. Curious, very curious to see how this might possibly fare when it comes to running down this course. It is also the noisiest car I have found in this game. I've almost had to mute my PC speakers. That is how noisy the engine is in this. It is unbelievable. Good sounding engine, just very noisy. I'm going to hazard a guess, we're probably not going to be flat out through these... No. The answer is no. The answer is no. We're not going to be flat out through these corners. We're going to have a spin off of Daytona and clonk into it. We're not going to be... I mean, we will be fast, but we aren't going to be flat out everywhere. We're also a little bit stuck. Amazing. Interestingly, straight line speed down towards Ham and Hairpin, about the same as we saw from the Rally People carrier. Now that would be an interesting turn up for the books, but never mind. Oh, Panorama, it's gone wrong. That's gone very wrong. It's gone very wrong. Impact might have been detected. You're not going to be able to beat gravity, though, are you? Oh, ouch. We crab quite badly. In fact, can we crab our way to a finish line? Come on, Mustang. We can. Oh no, we can't. No, we can't. No, we can't. No, we can't. There's not really much control anymore when you've smashed the rear of the car up in such a manner. That's quite impressive. Still struggling a little bit to put the power down. Oh, and we've spun. Try and gather that one. No, actually. We might save it from falling off all the way down the Meadow Beach again, haven't we? No. No, bugger. It's wiggly, but it does help the car deal with the dirt. We're a bit wonky on the way. Oh, God, we just managed to cling on. Only just clung on through the Kilolot jumps, although I typically had to say something about traction, didn't I? We hung on through the Kilolot jumps from very, very nearly going over the edge. And then we're gonna... Well, then we'll just turn you off. Bowline Stream has got an upside-down Mustang in it. Oh, we're gonna spin the car here. No. Yes, I'm not sure I can stop this. That was a hold-on for dear life moment. We got very close to the edge, and then we got very close to a different edge, and somehow, oh, I've got a twitch on the way into Panorama, and then that's all gone. Oh, we managed to keep it out of the walls really well earlier on. Didn't manage that further down. Didn't manage that further down. Poor Mustang. Well, the oversteer is always an interesting thing to deal with in this sort of car. As I said, the traction isn't terrible. The problem is, because it isn't terrible, you end up trying to push. You end up trying to be that little bit braver, and then you're carrying a lot more speed into a corner, if you get it right. And then, if you have asked that smidge too much, there isn't the rear end grip to go with all of the speed you have suddenly found, or suddenly wanting to try and utilise. So, yeah, there are interesting moments with the car. The Kilolot jumps are amazingly a lot better than I feared. Like, sure, we probably clonked the front bumper around a little bit across there. However, for a rear drive muscle car that's not designed for rallying, that's surprisingly competent at that section. Now, up towards Sebring we go. Now, we do have to kind of chuck the cars in a little bit sideways through there to try and avoid the worst of the bumps, or to... I don't even know the best way to describe it, but it's kind of limiting the impact the bumps have in firing you out wide on the exit. It does work. One more turn to go. Can we make it down? Don't cut without any issues. It's going to be an oversteery moment. Probably not going to like going through the mud too much as we run up towards the line. It's going to be a sideways moment into the Caravan. Well done, you actually kind of we managed to kind of roll the Caravan. Done a fair bit of damage to the front of the car in all of that one. The Caravan, we've knocked the toilet out of the Caravan. The rest of the Caravan, though, is in far too good a piece for us to pass up the opportunity to go for... Or the car doesn't really steer very well. Nope, still in one piece. I can't really aim the run up very well because I've got a quite poorly Mustang now. As far as a car to rally goes, it's not bad. The oversteer will catch you out. You will probably spin it from time to time, although that's kind of partly down to the traction isn't terrible. You get a decent amount of grip from these tyres, and that gives you a little bit of confidence to push, and then when you push, that's when things go a smidge wrong. However, yeah, on the whole, not a terrible car to drive down this course, and I'm very surprised how well it survived those kilowatt jumps. The final car to run down this course today, sticking with the American theme, is the Vendetta, essentially a C3 Corvette. Another very, very cool addition to have in this game. Another fairly high-powered rear-wheel drive. I mean, this time we're going for a classic American sports car. No idea what to expect from the handling department, no idea what to expect quite in terms of the speed department. I suspect a little bit less savage on the old power delivery, but still going to be plentiful. We're up towards about the 62 mile an hour mark for Hammond's hairpin, and things have gone a little bit wrong. Things have gone actually quite a lot bit wrong. I think things have gone quite a lot bit wrong off of Hammond's hairpin. Now this is the off-road spec of the car. It's got a little bit lifted suspension, so hopefully should deal with the, well, kilowatt jumps that we are about to take for the first time. It's, well, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, it's almost managed them. Things then went a little bit down. Things have gone quite downhill now. They started off a little bit downhill when I spun, and now they've gone quite downhill as we literally fell off a hill. And now we've made a hatchback, kind of. Who knew? Well, it's another car that I'm hardly surprised that Panorama or the kilowatt jumps will give it some grief. I mean, up here, like I thought that these corners were going to be tougher for a lot more cars, likes of Daytona, but they're actually not really too terrible for this. Hammond hairpin, once you've got the braking sorted, you are fine through. Now, Panorama, we're definitely, not going to be looking at going flat out on the way up here. Oh god, even with that sort of braking there, we're in a bit of trouble. We're going to clonk nose down. However, that suspension did its job. I then didn't do my job into the next corner. Panic and try and... Oh, we saved it from rolling. Oh, we saved it from rolling one way, only to then steer it up the banking to roll it the other way. You know what? Fine. We'll just go into this corner upside down and backwards. That's the FailRace way to do things anyway, so what difference does it make? We're about to get into big trouble at Daytona. Oh, caught it. No, didn't catch it. Didn't catch it. That broke a rear wheel. That put a rear wheel at a very funky angle. Not quite as funky an angle as I initially thought, but that's gonna, yeah, make for some bad handling vehicle. With over Panorama we go. The kilowatt jumps are... oh, that crest there is really bad. We've not had a car have big issues on that part. That's an interesting way to park up as well. Yeah, it's almost like there's a small crest that as we go over, just suddenly the Vendetta has some big wheel spin problems. How of all the cars, how peculiar that it's this in particular that's getting the worst of the issues there. Into Sebring we go, a little bit sideways, but that's the way to get through there with any sort of speed. I'm not sure if something has gone... Oh, I'm not sure if something's got awry in the back of the car. Wheels look okay. Maybe it was just another... But I might be finding more bumps that I'm not used to finding in in cars. Either way, it wasn't even that got us into trouble as I was trying to bring it across for this hairpin and slow it down. I just lost the back end again. It's a light... Oh, yeah, we're taking a fair chunk out of the front with that front wheel as well. It's a very lively rear end on this one. A very lively rear end indeed. finding bumps that we've never had to deal with in the past, or never had to worry about parts of the circuit that have never given other cars problems. Oh, we're about to go for another spin. I could sense that one coming. The amount of steering I was going to have to do to save that from falling off the course was always going to be way too much for the back end to deal with. Lost a wheel. I mean, the rest of the car has actually surprisingly survived that quite well. I mean, we've got no steering, so we're not really going to be able to get out of here, are we? I don't know, we might even be able to get out of here, amazingly. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That might have killed it. I think that might have killed what little steering I did have. No, it's actually still got steering. How is that still working? I don't know. It's not very much steering, but it is going to maybe be enough steering to see it across the line at least. God dear, what an interesting run. Well, we have, I think, just about between this, certainly this and the Mustang, managed to spin at every conceivable corner on this course. Maybe not so surprising that that's an issue we have with this sort of car, but yeah, we're even finding new bumps with the Vendetta, new areas to have problems with that I never knew we could have, well, problems with. Kill a lot of jumps. You expect cars to have issues down there, but elsewhere on the circuit, this thing is finding every possible place to get the back end moving around. That was very wide over panorama, but it is actually quite neatly set up for the kill a lot jumps. You don't want to do it that wide on a regular basis, but we did get away with it. I mean, the off-road suspension and so on is strong enough to survive a couple of those little awkward hits. Into this hairpin we go. A little wide on the way in, but we can hopefully get a decent enough run on the exit. Through Sebring, which has to be careful here. Very, very easy to bounce the car around, and just too much oversteer getting you in trouble. Now, I have a little... It's very tough getting the car slowed down across those crests. When this thing is as lively as it is in the back end department, I've got to be very, very careful slowing it down through there. Don't cut. We managed to get around without spinning. It's now just the acceleration towards the line, and into the caravan we go. Good destruction, actually. I think is the best destruction of the day in terms of caravan. Certainly the best spread of the caravan components. I have got the shell stuck on my front wheel though. No caravan. You cannot defeat the Corvette. Well, I mean, you haven't really defeated it, you've just irritated it. God damn it. God damn it indeed. Can we separate the pair of them with a bit of a node grabber? Nope. Oh, that looks like that might have done it actually. Oh, now we've just got the bodywork. It's eating. The Corvette is eating the caravan. Not quite sure. Not quite sure what bits are connected anymore. Sure. No, the caravan really has well and truly beaten the Corvette. Either way, the Vendetta is a cool car. It is a very cool car to go and or to just have in the game. Full stop. Oh, probably shouldn't have grabbed that by the exhaust. Didn't realise that was on the exhaust. That node. Yeah, great vehicle to have in the game. Difficult to drive, funnily enough, down a rally stage. It has a lot of oversteer, but it has a lot of power, and that can lead to problems. The off-road configuration does a pretty good job, though, of dealing certainly with some. Like the big jump, the big hits over the kill-a-lot jumps, it was fine with, but then the smaller bumps, the back end was then getting very lively around, so... Yeah, it's a tough one. Very easy to make big mistakes. Very easy to make big mistakes, or very easy just to spin the car and then fall off the hill. We'll be curious, though, to see how fast it has managed to get down there. So, on to our leaderboard, and it has proved to be another incredibly close day. In fact, all three cars separated by less than a second down this rally stage. And it is the people carrier, the Kashira, that goes into 13th place, the fastest of the lot, 1:15.6, beating the Vendetta by just 4/10 of a second. And then another 4/10 of a second down the road, we find that Horsepower GT, the Bolide rally car, separates this little group of vehicles. All, yeah, fairly respectable times fairly respectable times from a lot of them. At the end of the day, you know, the Bolide rally car was well set up to be a rally car, and the Vendetta, a classic Corvette, beats it. Only just mine, but it does indeed beat it. And the People Carrier, I mean, it didn't have massive amounts of speed, but its ability to carry some of its speed through the corners and certainly dealt with the bumps very, very well means that the 15.6 is... yeah, a pretty damn good time. Couldn't quite beat the Bazima Pro car, or the Fiat, amusingly. However, yeah, it does beat the Mustang and the Corvette. That, though, is going to be it for this episode. As ever, I shall link all the mods used in the description so you can download them. Have a go with them yourself. That'll be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.